Okay then, the action is thick and fast today. It is last 64 action continuing on. And I'm delighted to say, joining me in the commentary box for this one, a match between the Philippines and the host nation, Vietnam. It's the newly appointed, well, recently newly appointed European Mosconi Cup captain, Ralph Eckert. Welcome, Ralph.
Hello, Phil. So nice to join you here in the booth. So we got here an interesting match between a local player here from Vietnam, obviously a very good one, Luong Duc Thien, otherwise he wouldn't be here. And then on the other side we got Bernie Regalario. I guess I pronounce it right, Bernie Regalario from the Philippines, right? And he's this new shooting star here at this tournament, isn't he?
18 years of age, just turned 18. And the way he's played here, it suggests an article written 4 years ago, which I read this morning, might be close to the truth. They were asking then, when he was 14, is he the new Efren Reyes? That's how good a prospect he is. And it's borne out by his results here.
Yeah, I remember some matches. He was beating Ko Ping Chung, right? Like 9-2, and he was the former, the actual ringing US Open champion. And then he was down like 8-1 against Billy Thorpe.
No, that was Anton Raga, different person.
Oh, different person.
They look very alike, actually.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I remember. I was sitting there.
He's won 3 matches here. He beat Simon Matthews of the UK 9-6. Then, as you say, quite correctly, beat Ko Ping Chung 9-2. And in the winners' qualification round, he demolished Dennis Okolio 9-1. But the advantage here in the opening rack
goes to Luong Duc Thien.
Exactly.
He just scratched in the corner pocket. Pretty unlucky. Here you see that. So here we got the full view from Bernie Regalario. Arguably the new Efren Reyes, or the upcoming Efren Reyes.
Well, it's a big title to have, but of course the man at the table, Luong Duc Thien, 31 years of age, from northeast Vietnam in a mountainous area. And although there's no formal Vietnamese ranking to go off, you speak to people who are in the know here and they basically say he's definitely in the top 3 in this country. Now, so far this morning, things haven't gone well for the Vietnamese contingent in general. Maybe Luong can buck the trend.
All right, he got a pretty comfortable layout here on that table. So with this, he got a little bit of an angle to get out, to get a nice shot on the 5 ball. Straight or almost straight. Again, just enough angle to go from there to the 6 ball. Okay, he drawed it, and from that 6 ball, you can imagine it's a pretty comfortable Sunday afternoon walk for him to get this game, this first game in our set. You just have to make sure now to pass the 9 ball. Sometimes when you have the worst case in your mind, right? Do everything but not ending with the cue ball behind the 9, then it might come true. But here, a little bit too much speed here. Now he got a pretty funny angle on this 8 ball. Pretty hard to decide to go for a thin cut in the closest corner pocket, or to use the other corner pocket and go with the cue ball 2 or 3 ways around, which I might prefer here, but let's see what he he's going to do. He's going for the thin cut. Yeah, from here it looks more comfortable. Low right on the cue ball. And he got it. Another funny angle on the 9 ball though. Oh, he's missing that 9 ball.
Not the kind of start you want. He was getting progressively more and more out of position, and in the end, his lack of accuracy with Whitey caught up with him.
Yeah. That's pretty hard to miss that opportunity, taking the lead against this young talent over here. Look at this. Look at this. We start with a drama in the first game already here.
Well, that's incredible. It really is. The 9 hung any kind of contact on this ball and it will fall. Wowee. Luong Duc Thien must have thought he'd blown the opening rack when he missed the 9, but then Bernie Regalario did the same thing, an easier pot. It stayed in the jaws, and Luong can only see the funny side. Not sure whether Regalario will though, because he's not used to missing. He's played now 37 racks in the tournament, Regalario, and he's won 27 of them. It's been a tougher assignment for Luong Duc Thien. He won his first match against a fellow countryman when Doc Dung 9-2, but then lost 9-7 to Kyle Amorotto in the next round. Kyle Amorotto, the man who beat Shane Van Boening yesterday. So Luong was consigned to the one lost side of the draw. He had to win 3 matches there, and he did so. In the end, in losers qualification, Ralph, he whitewashed Masato Yoshioka, the Japanese World Cup player, 9-0. So clearly, he's a player to be respected.
So let's watch the break here. He got the 1 ball under control. The cue ball was almost on its way to the side pocket, but got blocked. And now he got the 2 ball at a nice target sitting in front of the corner. Here we see it again. You see the cue ball was on its way, blocked by the 4, and here comes the 2 ball. And when we have a look at the 3 and 5 balls, 6, it looks like another comfortable game here.
It does indeed, although the first rack looked that way. In the end, as you say, Ralph, it was quite dramatic.
Well, you never can be sure, even if you have a very comfortable layout here, because the table plays difficult. We have tight pockets, so you have to stay focused and concentrated all the way, even though you have a very comfortable layout. So they really have to do some work here, all the players. But he's doing good so far. And with this angle, he can go short rail, long rail, just passing the 8 ball after the long rail, coming out for the 7. A little bit center right. And here it goes. Just enough angle to get from there to the other long rail and out for the possibly straight shot on the 8. Yeah, he's fine with that. Could be a 2-0 lead here for Luong.
And you know, when you make a mistake, as Regalario did in the first rack. Sometimes it can come back to bite you, even though it's very early in the piece. 2-0 to the home favourite, who's trying to instill some inspiration into these Vietnamese fans who've been silenced this morning because a lot of their players have departed. 6 Vietnamese made the last 64. Remarkably, 17 Filipinos. And so far today, a lot of Filipinos gaining victories. No Vietnamese yet. Let me give you the very latest in the last 64. We saw Jeff DeLuna coming through earlier on the main table. He was joined by his fellow countryman Michael Feliciano, who beat No Quang Trung 10-4. Torsten Homan doubled up on Phuong Nam Pham 10-5, aided by a golden break in the penultimate rack. Very slow going on table 12. Ahmed Tawfiq of Brunei 7-3 up on Antonius Kakaris, who's had a lot of very slow matches this week. I was impressed by Jason Shaw again, coming through against Bui Truong An. Johan Chua in a good position against Piers Labutis at 8-4. And I'll give you the other scores after this rack.
Okay, let's take a look. He got the 1 ball again, but this time he lost the cue ball. It was going like 3 rails, wasn't it? Into the side pocket.
I'll tell you what, Ralph, this morning we've seen everything. We've seen scratches on the break quite often. We've seen golden breaks in abundance. We've had flukes. We've had all sorts. It's been an extraordinary pool, actually.
Absolutely. That's what you can expect here, right? when you have to watch and challenge the best players of the world here in Hanoi. Okay, with ball in hand, let's see Regalario, how he's going to handle that rack here, going from the 3 to the 5. The 5 can pass here pretty good. Yeah, and he got the angle to go to the long rail, let the cue ball follow to the long rail and back to the other side for the 6.
I don't know whether it's me, Ralph, but I think these cushions seem very reactive today, maybe more so than at any point in the tournament, apart from very early on day 1. They seem quite bouncy.
Well, if the humidity is going up a little bit, then they react differently. So, and the players can feel that and they can see it, obviously. And so it's another task for the players to adapt to these different circumstances they find on each table, right?
Yeah, it's not confined just to pool. When we play the big snooker events over the years in Thailand and certain parts of China where it's very humid, we have inconsistent cushion bounces there, although in recent years not so much. So Bernie Regalario takes advantage of the scratch on the break. He gets his first rack on the board. Luong Duc Thien's advantage reduced to 2-1. Now here are those other scores I promised you. Fu Chi Wei on the hill against Mickey Krause at 9-5. Slow going Jan van Leerup and Skylar Woodward. Quite a battle as well. 6-5 to the Dutchman. It's 6-6 now. Kopin Yi and Imran Majid. James Aranash is through against Gerson Martinez, 10-4. So South American participation in the tournament is over. Jeffrey Rodder, another fine talent from the Philippines. He beat Tang Ching Ting of Chinese Taipei 10-2. Here's a very interesting scoreline. Fedor Gorsht, he was 7-2 up on Kuo Po Cheng. It's now 7-6. David Al-Qaedi has just started out against John Morra. Al-Qaedi leading 2-0. Abdullah Al-Muntasa of Bangladesh 1-0 up on former World Masters champion Alexander Kazakis from Greece. And Mario He, a real contender for Mosconi Cup inclusion, the Austrian 2-0 up on Francesco Candela.
And Bernie just braked and couldn't get the one ball, which is the main task nowadays on this break here at Matchroom at the World 9-Ball Tour. Basically, you have to practice long enough till you get the touch and the feeling to make this one ball on a high percentage, let's say like 70%. And then comes the next task, to keep the cue ball as close as possible to the 2-ball, wherever the 2-ball is placed in the rack. So a lot of challenges for the modern pool player, for the modern 9-ball player in this format. I wonder if he's going to cut that, bank that. Looks like he's going to cut it. Yes, nice cut shot, and he wanted to pass on that 8-ball right to get back for the 2 in a perfect position, but this didn't happen here. So he's going for a safety, pretty sure here. Maybe it's hard to keep the cue ball behind the 6. Maybe he's trying to do it the other way around, keeping the 2-ball behind the 6 and sending the. No, he's going this way. Okay, 2-ball towards the 4 or in between, and this perfect.
Ralph, I know our viewers would be annoyed with me if I didn't ask a few questions of you about the Mosconi Cup, which is going to be coming your way December 6 to 9 at Alexandra Palace in London. First off, how are you enjoying the job so far?
Oh, I enjoy it very much. I mean, it's nice to be on this kind of a stage, and I'm looking forward at Alexandra Palace in London. I've heard all the best things in the world.
Well, I can tell you from personal experience, it's a special place and the atmosphere is like no other. So, were you surprised when you got the initial approach to be captain? It must have been a wonderful phone call.
Oh yeah, I almost dropped my phone when I got this call. So yeah, that was a big surprise for me, and well, it was always a dream for me to be part of this Matchroom events here, and now it became true, which is nice. Otherwise, I would have applied as a referee at least next year or so.
So tell me this, obviously being European captain, you've got an abundance of talent available to you, so many potential players. Does that bring a difficulty in itself? Because, of course, at the end of this tournament we'll know the 3 automatic picks, but then it's your responsibility to pick 2 other players, and there are so many you could choose.
The main problem is not which one to choose. The problem is, I left so many players, so many talent players I left out in the dark, right? Because not everyone can be part of the team, and we got so many. So, yeah, I have to give a deep thought into that.
There's a phrase in English, it's an embarrassment of riches. You've got so many potential stars on that team who could play and not just participate but compete with distinction and be stars of the team in their own right, and these guys will be, as you say, some of them left out.
Yeah, it's pretty hard business, isn't it? So, but it's fun as well. He did good here. I'm still thinking here the 7-ball. He's aiming at the 7. Probably getting trying to get a combination, 6 into the 9, 9 into the 8. Is this his plan after the 5 and the 6? Looks like. So, but it's getting more and more tough in the Mosconi Cup because of the switch, right? Fedor Gors is on the Team America. This makes things very interesting. That's
a bit like in 1970, Pelé deciding to play for England or Germany in the World Cup as opposed to Brazil. It changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah, it does. Looking forward to that. I mean, more or less he had no flag, right? So it was him to choose, and yeah, and I don't blame him because he got such a nice acceptance in the States. He feels so warm and welcome, and here comes the 9 ball. Oh no! Oh, he miscalculated this one, huh?
Well, echoes of the first rack when the 9 was left hanging on the precipice in another pocket. This time, though, the 7 could pose a problem.
I wonder he's going to make a... Here you see the case. I wonder if he's going to make a billiard now, Bernie, into the 9.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too much of an issue, should it? There you go.
Yes.
So, the 7-9 carom, and with that, Bernie Regalario, 18 years of age, only just turned 18, is back on level terms at 2-2. Another young player with great prospects, Jonas Suter Camino from Spain. He's 3-1 up on Dennis Okolio of a different generation. Koping Chung, he was sent to the one-loss side of the draw early in the tournament, but he's bouncing back brilliantly. He leads Jose Alberto Delgado 3-0. Michael Boanan of the Philippines, we don't know an awful lot about him. What we do know is he's a fine prospect and he leads Shane Van Boning 1-0. Same for Jeffrey Ignacio, Boanan's compatriot, who leads Lo Van Zuan, half right here in Vietnam, again by the odd rack. They've only just started, and I can tell you Koping Chung just marching on into a 5-0 lead over Jose Alberto Delgado. So the US Open champion halfway to victory in a place in the last 32, but it's looking a little grim on table 11 for Fedor Gorst. Kuo Po Cheng has come all the way back from 7-2 down to lead 8-7.
Is it right? Okay. So here's the break. He got a 1 ball this time. That's what you can expect. If someone is missing the 1 ball, right, you have to get control over it. And if you're missing it, then you have to recognize at least was it too short or too long in order to make it better on the next break. If you just don't pay attention too much where you missed that 1 ball and how, then yeah, that's another task. You have to keep an eye and see what was the mistake in order to raise your chances on the next break. And let's see, I guess he got a shot on the 1 in the side, does he? No, the 2 in the side, yes. So the cue ball all the way up the table and back out of the shadow from the 9 ball for the 3. Okay, from there we got the 4 ball near the side, near the corner pocket, and the 5 looks promising.
And the amazing thing is, Ralph, this is his very first major World 9 Ball Tour ranking event.
You mean it was only like small tournaments in the Philippines before, and now it's first major?
Well, he played in the Peri Open here last week, and he beat Alexa Pachalch there, so he's claiming some really big scalps, as we say, already here. Koping Chung and Dennis Okolio have been beaten by Regalario. He's known as the Little Prince, and the way he's playing, it might not be too distant in the future when he becomes king.
Okay, let's watch the carrier from the Little Prince here. Even though he's that good already, he has still a lot to learn, of course, because it's one thing to demolish your opponents here and there, right? Because you're so excited and you don't know what can be wrong. You only know how it's supposed to be done. But it's another thing to learn if you're falling behind far, still to come back, and yeah, how to deal with losses.
He's part of the Marboys Billiard Club team. And I'll tell you what, it's great to see the infusion of youth in the sport. It renews it, it gives it vibrancy, and it's always great to see a new young talent emerging.
We always have this discussion, what is better, discipline and working ethic or talent, which is more powerful. But of course, to build up legends, you need both.
Yeah, I think you've got to have the talent initially, but then you've got to have the discipline to make the most of it. You can have all the discipline in the world. I've seen, particularly on the snooker circuit, players who practice all hours of the day, but they haven't got the talent to sustain it. You've got to have the talent first, but then you've got to want to put the hard yards in and really make the most of what you've been given.
Yeah. And one thing about talents is, when you really see if they're gonna make it or not, is in the beginning they will climb up the ladder, right? In the beginning they can reach their task easily, but what is going to happen when they face misery, when they face losses? Because that's the things they are not used to, and they have to learn how to deal with it. And when they overcome that, then you can expect them to be strong and maybe become legendary.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. I think the three components to world-class success, as you say, talent, dedication, but also you need nerve. You need what we call in England bottle. Bottle. You need to be able to cope with the most pressurised circumstances and play as though it doesn't really mean all that much when it means everything. Now, one of the great exponents of that is Jason Shaw.
Oh yes, yeah.
He plays with such freedom in the most constricting of circumstances. Anyway, here we go.
Absolutely, and I know him when he was just a young talent, right? And beating everyone there, and then he had also struggles, and now he's a very, very stable player. Very hard to beat. And here comes the break again. Oh, he missed that one ball just on a knuckle from the side pocket and is going into the corner. But the 2-ball and the cue ball, it's probably going to be a push out from him. Here you see that break again.
Let me quickly give you a couple of recent results. Fu Chi Wei of Chinese Taipei has beaten Mickey Kraus 10-5. Also, Yuan Chua, the outstanding star of the World Cup, he's beaten Lithuania's Pius Labutis 10-4.
Okay, here comes the offer he's going to make to Mr. Luong Duc Thien, and he's offering a jump shot. I would give it back to him, just because I want to see how good he is at jump shots. And it's not only about the jump, yeah, he's getting it back, it's also to keep the position. I guess if he can just pot it, if he runs into the 4-ball, he will get difficulties, but that not necessarily has to be the case. It can pass the 4-ball and get a nice position on the 3, but the main task now, can he make that jump? Can he play it accurate enough to pot it? I mean, 15 years ago it was a low percentage shot, but nowadays they're getting more and more excellent on that. Okay, nice attempt, but not sharp enough to make it in. But he didn't left too much here.
We must tell you, by the way, the crowds here today are immense.
Yes.
And I think the most popular table, this has attracted a lot of spectators, but I think the most popular table right now is table 11, because Fedor Gorst in this part of the world, because of his YouTube channel and because of his personality, and he's winning the Perry Open last week, all of those things combined, he's so popular here, and the amount of people around table 11 watching to see whether Gorst can turn it around against Kuo Po Cheng is a sight to see.
That's right. He catches way more viewers, way bigger crowd than we have here on table 1, actually. What's the score on the Fedor Gorst match?
Well, according to the official scoring, still 8-7 in favour of Quo.
Okay, here we got a pretty funny situation. He's hesitating a little bit because it's not easy to create a safety out of that. But maybe can get it. Slow rolling, soft rolling. He's doing good actually. But sometimes you hesitate to roll a ball so softly like this because if there anything is in the way, right, or table not perfectly leveled, but they are perfectly leveled over here.
Yeah, we thought actually on the first couple of days that the table 1, the one we're watching now, might be running off, but it wasn't what it was. The air conditioning was too powerful, and so consequently it was causing the balls to just drift slightly from, as we're looking at the table on our coverage, from left to right. So when the air conditioning system over this particular table was turned off, all of the problems were eradicated.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was Jeremy Jones actually who realised what was going on, because as you say, normally the Rassol tables we're using here are exemplary, and they have been. So
yeah.
It wasn't anything to do with them, it was to do with the AC, as we found out.
It's more like I'm used to that in the old days, right? But nowadays the construction of the modern tables are so nice, so beautiful, that you can really expect them to be absolutely straight. And here we got a jump shot. Pretty short distance over the 7, but not a full ball, so he can get this. And he even created a resave out of that.
I know everyone's interested, so I can tell you Fedor Gorst to stop the Rotties equalise with Quo Po Cheng at 8 lakhs each. What a nervy affair going on over on table 11.
Bernie might kick into the 2-ball now, and I wonder if he's trying to make this 9-ball move a little, or if he's going to play more softly in order to increase his chances to get a resave. But it was something in the middle, right? A little bit softer, and he could have had a nice resave with the cue ball behind the 7, but needed to hit a little harder in order to give the 9-ball a chance, and in case of not going, to split those balls to keep them apart, right? Okay, now a straight 2-ball.
And this is where your technique needs to hold up. It's a cueing shot.
Yeah, it's a little tester when you have such a long straight shot in front of you. And he got this one. Almost straight on the 3, a little angle and the wrong angle. This will give him some difficulties to get a nice position on the 4-ball. He might leave it near where the 3-ball is now, maybe a little follow. Here he's pointing with his cue at. That would be a position he can deal with to continue after the 3. Still hesitating a little bit and checking again. Yeah, that's the position he wants. To use more power, getting closer to the 4 is another risk. So you don't want to go for that. So instead he's going to use a soft shot here, and going now maybe 2 rails back and forth to get from the 4-ball to the 5. And after the 5 he can be very comfortable. So this is the key shot here for him for this game. No, he missed that badly. It's so tough.
And of course we must talk about the fact that there is added pressure on Luong because he's trying to provide a home victory. It's not gone well overall for the Vietnamese today so far, and clearly he's conscious of that. He wants to see at least one Vietnamese player through to the last 32, i.e. himself, and that in itself puts extra responsibility on his shoulders.
Yeah. If you build up a nice big name for yourself in your home country and suddenly you have the chance on the world stage to perform, right, and prove everything in front of your home crowd, that's a special pressure. So we can feel with him. But now it's the young talent from the Philippines, Regalario. Pretty sure he's going to take care on this remaining. Oh, look at this. Oh, I was sure that he is taking care of it very good, but now.
Well, I think that's what we were talking about earlier. These cushions are lively. You look at this. That top cushion in particular, it really bounced.
Yeah. High-speed rails today on table 1. So that's difficult. I doubt that he's going to use a curve shot. That would be more like an Efren thing. So he's going for 2 rail kicks or 1 rail kick. I mean, long rail, short rail, or the other side. He's aiming now, short rail, long rail. But probably going towards long rail, short rail. Still thinking about it. That's his 2 options here. If he goes long rail, short rail, then he has to pass the 7 ball very close. So there's a little, it's a little more dangerous. And when he's going short rail upwards towards the kitchen, short rail, long rail, might be my favorite shot in this case. Still watching on both options. And now he's going for, short rail, long rail. Let's see. Must hit near the first diamond. And it was a legal shot, and he just missed it by a few millimeters to make it in the pocket. So this was excellent. Nice try.
As a nation, the Filipinos are renowned as wonderful kickers, and that was another example.
So he obviously is trying to hide the cue ball behind the 7, or if he likes this, oh no, he's going on the other side trying to hide a 6 behind the 7 and sending the cue ball the other way. No, he's changing his mind and stay with the cue ball behind the 7. That's a good safety. Again, we got 2 possibilities here. Short rail, long rail, running into the 6 ball, or only short rail, but also maybe only the long rail on the other side, because there's a resave chance. It's more difficult, but a chance of a resave. That's why he's going for that. Yeah, a little bit more thin, and you can imagine he could have reached a nice resave here. But anyhow, by accident he received another resave.
Yeah, quite often when you suffer a double kiss when you're playing safe, it's not a good thing. In that case, it was very beneficial.
Yeah, a double kiss sometimes ends with a cue ball scratch, right? I guess he can still get it with a little curve from that point of view, but he can prevent a foul, avoid a foul, but he won't get much out of it. I wonder if he's going maybe to jump it, because then he can bank it cross table in the low right corner while bringing the cue ball near the 9 and 7 ball. And that's what he's trying to do. Yeah, he's jumping that. Pretty dangerous. It's a long distance, so it's hard to keep the cue ball or object ball on the table. Yeah. I don't know if he wanted to hit it that straight, that full, or if he wanted to hit it a little bit more on its left side to bring the cue ball back and the 6 ball closer to the other corner. Anyhow,
well, Regalario now licking his lips, needs the cue ball to stop. It did in the nick of time.
He's he's touching the rails. He expected different a little bit, but he's still in a good position, I would think so. You can still cut it in. And you can bring the cue ball all around the table for the 8. And here he goes away with a 4-2 lead by making this 9 ball.
Yes, and that was after falling 2-0 adrift. So 4 racks in succession for Bernie Regalario. Things are going nicely for him. What around this arena? Well, Ahmed Tawfiq of Brunei on the hill against Antonios Kakaris at 9-4 now. On the hill also, Jan van Leerup of Holland up 9-5 against Skylar Woodward.
Is that right? Wow.
Yeah, Kopinyi 9-6 over Imran Majid. That's been a really hard tactical battle from what I've seen. Fedor Gorsh has now hit the front. He's arrived on the hill. 9-8 up on Kwo Po Cheng after falling 8-7 behind. David Al-Khadi 4-1 over John Morra. Shane Walford, Mosconi Cup contender from the USA. He's taken the first rack from Moritz Newhouse. Abdullah Al-Muntasser of Bangladesh 3-2 up on Alex Kazakis. 2-2 Jeffrey Ignacio and Lo Van Zuan. And Michael Bowanen of the Philippines leading early against Shane Van Bonen. 3-1. Mario He 2-1 on Francesco Candela. And it's one-way traffic. Ko Ping Chung 7-0 up on Jose Alberto Delgado.
And here another break from Bernie. Oh, again, the 1 ball. Did you see how close this was? Again, at the knuckle of the side pocket. And nothing went in. Or did I miss something? Oh yeah, the 4 ball went in. So he can continue. Difficult. He might play a safety better here. Or is he going to shoot that into the side pocket or a bank shot into the other side pocket? at a bank shot he can draw it a little, and he won't leave too much if in case of missing it. Here it comes. And yeah, he won't leave too much, but he's certainly not satisfied with that outcome.
If you're watching this in the Philippines, by the way, what a feast of action for you today. We've already seen on this table Jeffrey De Luna going into the last 32. Now it's the youngster, and after this, match 3 on table 1 will be Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, the World 9-Ball Tour rankings #1, against 2021 US Open champion Carlo Biardo.
Interesting match again. Okay, nice rollout here with the cue ball almost frozen to the 7 ball. That was a nice and touchy shot here from Luong Duc Thien. So from there, it's yeah, passing the 3 ball into the short rail. Some touch of spin and to avoid the foul, but you can't expect too much more out of that, just to avoid the foul.
Ralph, on neighbouring tables, simultaneous results. Jan van Leerup of Holland has beaten Skylar Woodward 10-5. On the next table, Copigny has beaten Imran Majid 10-6.
All right, that's an interesting upset here from Jan van Leerup over the strong American #1 in the Mosconi ranks, right?
He travels everywhere with his parents, and they were on the front row today watching that match from first ball to last, watching intently. They'll be very proud.
Absolutely, and here comes a long, thin cut again for Luong. Yeah, he did nice, and it could have been, it could be the decision maker here in this game, because he got a nice position on the 2, 3, maybe in the side, or if he got enough angle, cheats the pocket a little bit. But nowadays you can't cheat a pocket too much, right? When they're so tight. But he still does it to get a more comfortable position for the 3 into the corner rather than into the side pocket.
Needs to capitalise here because the match is in danger of sliding away from him.
He got this one, and now maybe the last chance to make a mistake would be going from the 5 to the 6, but because with this angle it's not that easy just to draw it back for the 6 in the side, because this is enough angle that you will be very close to that 6. So I wonder if he maybe the low left, smooth, and it comes close to the 6, like I said. So the field for position is very small.
Big news from table 11. He had quite a shock to the system, Fedor Gorsht, but he did repel the challenge of Kuo Po Cheng. Gorsht winning by 10 racks to 8, so his remarkable 2023. I was working out, Ralph, he's won 15 tournaments around the world, and he's into the last 32 here.
Nice. Okay, and here we got this position here. I guess he can still make the 6 ball. It's, even though it looks almost straight, it's still a cut because of the small distance. So he has to get the cue ball almost around the table for the 7. And now he got it under his control.
Again.
Oh. Did you see that? Almost he snookered himself behind the corner.
What a strange reaction off that short rail.
Yeah, look at this. This is the difference, you know? 3 millimeters sometimes. Okay.
Well, he lived dangerously there. He just about was able to knock in the 6 after an iffy positional shot. And as Ralph said, it was a millimetre away from being disastrous with a position onto the 9. But he was just able to pot it. And so, that 4-rack winning streak of Bernie Regalario is punctuated. It's 4-3 now in favour of the teenager.
And those millimeters, do you count, this is so hard to say, right? If a ball goes in a certain position behind a ball or behind a corner, and it's only judged by a millimeter or 2 if you got a shot or not. Is this bad luck, or is it ability?
Well, the player who's played the shot will say it's bad luck. Maybe everyone else will say it's ability. You know what players are like, Ralph. They've got selective memories, haven't they? You know, they can have 10 pieces of good luck and then 1 piece of bad luck, and you know which one they'll focus on.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, he's already on the next break. Let's see, the 1 ball. Can he get the 1 ball in the side? Here we go. And he might have a shot on the 2. Does he? No. Yes, no. The 6 ball is in the way to the pocket. So that's tricky. Here you see it again. So after you master the 1 ball, the next art would be to find a good percentage getting the cue ball near the 2 ball, depending on where the 2 ball is placed in the rack, which is randomly the case. But there's only 7 spots available for the 2 ball, right? So you can figure it out after a couple hundred or 1,000 breaks. What is the typical reaction of that 2 ball in each of those 7 positions? And then you can raise your percentages, getting a good position. Nothing more. It's still a little gamble. This might make a cut bank here. Here it is. Nice one. Nice. That was beautiful.
And certainly receiving, as you would fully expect, plenty of support. Well received, that shot from the crowd.
And nice position on the 3 ball too. Difficult to get to that 4 ball here. He has to use more stun shot with some spin to go. Or is he doing something different here? More than a stun, a real draw. He tried to draw it around the 5 ball, but couldn't, and now he has to face this very difficult long shot on the 4 ball on those not too comfortable pockets here on our beautiful resin table. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. These, if you do shots like that, this gives you confidence, especially in front of your home crowd. So we can expect a tight match here.
Yeah, and now it's a much bigger crowd watching this. A lot of the people who are watching Fedor Gorsht over on table 11 have made the short walk.
Yeah, they came over here to watch action on table 1. several options here, from going from the 6 to the 7. Let's see which one he's going to choose. But most likely like 2 rails, short rail, long rail, between the 8 and 9. But he's just... is he following it? No. Oh, running into the 8 is not really what he wanted to do. The 8 is in a nice position though, but the 7 ball is not an easy task. No matter if you're going to shoot it into the side pocket or the corner pocket, that's difficult. But he made it. It was a strong game here. It still is. A strong game so far for Luong Duc Thien. I wonder if he's trying to hold the cue ball where it is, shooting kind of straight, or let the cue ball traveling around like he does here. That's close, that's close. Oh. First class positioning here by Luong Duc Thien.
Stop on a dime, and in that rack, Luong Duc Thien was very much on the money. He was 4-2 down. Now though, he's successfully equalised at 4 racks each. You know, every time in these major Matchroom World 9 Ball Tour ranking events, without exception, we have one surprise package. Maybe in this one it's going to be Ahmed Tawfiq from Brunei, who's defeated Antonius Kakaris by 10 racks to 4. He now plays Torsten Homan, the double World 9 Ball champion, in the last 32. David Alcady 5-2 up on John Morra. Shane Walford 3-0 over Moritz Neuhausen. Alex Kazakis getting the better of Abdullah Al-Muntasa now. Kazakis 5-3. Jeffrey Ignacio and Lo Van Zuan 3-3. Same score. Michael Bowanen and Shane Van Boning, SVB, was 3-1 down there. Albin Auschen and Chris Melling have just begun on table 11. Mario He 3-2 up on Francesco Candela. Ko Ping Chung, US Open champion, recently crowned 8-0 on Jose Alberto Delgado.
He got the 1 ball on his break, but unlucky with the 2 ball positioning here. But especially when the 2 ball is on the corner position, it's hard to predict where it's going to end up. But the cue ball down there near the head rail is also not the position you want to get for your cue ball usually. So I wonder if he just pushes it with a little touch and leave the jump shot, or the option for a jump shot, to Bernie, or if he's going to take the opportunity and jump it, try to jump it by himself directly. Yeah, he's going for it. No push out, I jump it by myself. Close.
Oohs and ahs around this National Indoor Stadium. Where the 2 ball came to rest, we weren't sure. Not where Luong Duc Thien wanted it to come to rest. Now, Regalario, the last couple of racks, he's not had much quality table time. Needs to step forward here and reassert himself.
And now he has a nice shot here. The 2 ball can pass, if I remember the picture right. Yeah, 2 ball can pass in the corner pocket. 3 ball is nearby, 4 in front of the corner. 5, 6, 7, 8. So the plan is pretty clear for him. The question is, can he keep his focus, his concentration, ball by ball, through the whole rack? And sometimes it's so easy to say, stay focused, stay concentrated, right? But what does it actually mean? What action do you need to take on to come into concentration, into focus? So you have to know, you have to go by the definition. What's the definition of concentration actually? So I would come up, it's hard to find a nice definition of it, by the way. You will see, even experts have problems with it. But my mentor always said, you're in a state of concentration when the things you are doing are in balance with the things you are thinking. When you are thinking what you do equals what you are doing and thinking. So.
And Ralph, your mentor was?
Mr. Kim, which I wrote a whole book about it, The Final Freedom. Unfortunately, he died like five weeks ago, but yeah, he was 81 years old, and yeah. So look at this 7 ball here. How did he came in this situation? Bank shot is blocked. Would be anyway low percentage, and the thin cut into the corner is also not a high percentage shot here. So I wonder if he's trying to hide maybe the cue ball somewhere, but he has to go all the way down. He's going for the cut. Wow, that was a good one.
Now, without being too simplistic, when you're cutting a ball thin, it helps when you've got young guys. And, of course, he's only 18.
Well, if he sees the shot, he sees it, and he's going for it, right? Because if your mind tells you, I can do it, I can see it, and if you see it, you can do it, then you don't hesitate that much. But when you're getting older, and experience doesn't always help you. Sometimes it creates doubts, because you not only know what can be done, you also know what can go wrong, right?
Mental scar tissue, they call it. But at the age of 18 and with bags of talent, Bernie Regalario at the moment is freewheeling. He's back in front. He leads by 5 racks to 4. Now, the winner of this match in the last 32 will play either Lee Van Corteza or Roland Garcia, 2 veterans from the Philippines. They've just begun over on table 12. For what it's worth, Corteza has won the first rack. David Alcady 6-2 on John Morra. Shane Walford now 3-1 on Moritz Neuhausen. It's 6-3 Alex Kazakis over Abdullah Almontasa. Jeffrey Ignacio 5-3 over Lo Van Zwan. Michael Bowanen has taken the lead again against Shane Van Boning at 4-3. Albin Auschen, he's been struggling of late, but he's a real fighter. You know he's going to grimly be determined, and he's 1-0 up on Chris Melling. 4-2 for Mario He over Francesco Candela. Ko Ping Chung on the verge of a big win against Jose Alberto Delgado at 9-1. Also on the hill, Jonas Suter Camino 9-5 over Dennis Ocolio. Max Lechner 4-1 up on Elliot Sanderson.
Oh, he missed that 1 ball again, a little bit short this time. Here we see it again. Maybe too much draw on the cue ball, which brings follow to the 1 ball, which makes it short. Yeah, he's going for a safety rather than a bank shot here, and he did it good.
Regalario hoping for the same kind of run here that was enjoyed by Anton Raga at the European Open in Fulda in Germany in August. Raga almost pulled off an amazing success, beaten 13-12 in a classic final by David Arcady. People in the know knew him well. He's a long-time, very good money player in the Philippines, now turning his attention to playing international tournaments, Raga, and of course he's still involved here after that extraordinary comeback against Billy Thorpe yesterday. He was 8-1 down, came back to win 9-8.
Okay, here's the kick shot. He did it. Legal shot, and no luck for him this time. So this is a comfortable one ball for Bernie Regalario. So when we take a look at the table layout, but Luong Duc Thien couldn't do much out of that. I mean, just the one ball when was sitting so alone there and you're kicking at it, there's not much place to hide a cue ball. So when we have this situation now, he can get easy to position on the 2 ball. Then the 3 might be with this angle a little tricky. 4, and from the 3 to the 4 is another key shot.
Of course, today also, Ralph, the Hanoi Junior Open begins. The youngsters have been in for a while now, practicing in front of us. I think that's one of the great additions to the World 9-Ball Tour, these junior events that are played simultaneously. It just gives the youth of 9-Ball Pool the opportunity to be involved on the big occasion, sampling the atmosphere, being surrounded by all of the giants of the game, their heroes. It couldn't really be better.
They can taste a little bit from the big stage and get a little bit experience, and can build up their dreams going to play with the big ones one day. So yes, I recognized a lot of young talents when I came into the venue this morning. And here comes a key shot. Can he play that accurate enough down? Which would be difficult, and he missed it. But look at this.
Well, that was a poor shot and a very good outcome. By his standards, he will be pretty disgusted with that, actually.
It was hard, and now I guess he left a jump shot, and not a too difficult jump shot here for Luong Duc Thien. Here it comes. Cue ball will go all the way down to the other end, but can he play it powerful enough to bring it back for the 4? No. Only if he misses it very thin, then it will come back like that.
And what's more, Luong has left the 3 and there's angle on it, with a creative shot to get shape.
Okay, so he might has a chance to, either way, corner pocket or side pocket, but the cue ball is in danger on the other side, this or that way. Whoa, that's a surprise, right? But worrying about the cue ball sometimes makes you missing shots like that. So another opportunity for Luong Duc Thien, and a good one to take control over that game. He has to go with the cue ball all the way around, getting position for the 4. So 3 rails, passing the 9 ball, passing the 9 ball, and needs to elevate the cue a little bit here probably, and he's pretty straight, so it's hard for him to come out with the cue ball for position on the 6 ball. Let's see.
He had a look of concern on his face as soon as he saw the cue ball coming around the table. He knew he wasn't going to scratch. It was a matter of whether he was going to be over the 8, and he most certainly is.
It's hard to play with an elevated cue like that, and the 8 ball is that close. You're always in danger to make a foul. And you see how close it is.
I'll tell you what, that was a very good effort. Not quite good enough, it might be.
He did a good job on it, yeah, but there's another challenge waiting now. Almost something similar.
Just a reminder, if you want to watch any of the Table 2 action today, indeed throughout the tournament, it's available on the Matchroom Multisport YouTube channel. Right now it's that battle between Michael Bohannon and Shane Van Boning, 4-4. And there again, oh, please don't go off. Oh, that's undeserved.
Yeah, that's... He deserved better here. Was a nice shot. Good hit at the 6 ball. Let's see. You see how it happened?
That's the thing though, isn't it, Ralph, when you're playing thin cuts like that? The ball, the cue ball is running wild and anything can happen.
Yeah. And I don't blame him going for that easy combination for the 9. Leading 6-4.
Yeah, that 2 rack cushion established again. He was 4-2 ahead. Now inching towards the winning line, the young man. Lee Van Cortese still 1-0 up on Roland Garcia. 6-2 for David Al-Qaedi over John Morra. Al-Qaedi definitely locked in to Ralph Eckert's European Moscow League Cup team. Shane Walford 3-1 over Moritz Neuhausen. 6-3 Alexander Kazakis against Abdullah Al-Muntasser. 5-3 Jeffrey Ignacio over Lo Van Zwan. As I was saying, on Table 2 on the Matchroom Multisport YouTube channel, you can catch Shane Van Boning battling away against Michael Bohannon. It's 4-4. Albin Hauschen has taken the first rack from Chris Melling. Mario He 4-2 up on Francesco Candela. And both Ko Ping Chung and Jonas Suter Camino are on the hill waiting for victory. Ko Ping Chung over Jose Alberto Delgado. Jonas Suter Camino over Dennis Acolio. Ko Ping Chung leads 9-1. Camino 9-5.
And here comes the next break. Let's see if he can get the 1 ball now. Yes, he can. He was hitting a little bit more solid rather than playing more low. So less low and a little bit more solid in order to get that 1 ball a little bit closer to the side pocket before it was too short. And that's what you have to do. But look at the, no shot on the 2 ball though. So he might try to hit it very thin and hide the cue ball somewhere on the other side. Maybe behind the 6 if he hits it thin enough, fast enough, and there it is behind the 6. That's a good one.
In cue sports, sometimes when you see a youthful prodigy come through, at the age of 18, they've got all of the offensive skills and they can pot off the lampshades. Sometimes what's lacking is technical nous and know-how, but from what I've seen of Regalario, he seems pretty useful in that department.
Absolutely. Forces him to use his jump cue again here. Luong has to. Did a good job here. And create another resave out of that. That's good. Sometimes it's very interesting to see those opening battles, right? When nobody has a direct shot on the first ball. And sometimes it really goes back and forth with saves, resaves, difficult shots and so on. Until finally someone gain control. So who will be the player in that game to gain control over that game first? Is he going for a jump shot? Can he curve it? I don't know, a kick shot is no... Is there a kick shot option? Of course, but when the 8-ball is so close nearby, you don't want to risk a foul.
I think he can see the two directly from
so?
shot earlier on, yeah.
So maybe... Yeah, he got his playing cue ready, so it might be he has a direct shot on it. No curve or jump necessary. So he got a shot directly into it, but I was thinking about bringing the cue ball near the 8-ball, right behind the 8-ball.
Can give you a result we fully anticipated. Ko Ping Chung did complete that runaway win over Jose Alberto Delgado. The final score 10-1. So next up, Ko will play either Mario He or Francesco Candela.
Interesting. So let's see, when he kicks at that 2-ball. No, he's not kicking at it. He can cut it thin, like a cross bank, but not enough power to make a real cross bank, but to bring the cue ball back down to the other side of the table.
I think he's left the gap though. That was a loose one. And asking for our roaming referee to remove the template. This is quite an intricate exercise. One thing we must say, the officials here deserve every credit because they're lengthy days, and what's happening in the first 4 days is that the officials are given 4 tables to look after to rack the balls, and it really is quite demanding, especially if by pure luck all 4 tables finish a rack at the same time.
Yeah, and then you really have to hurry up to rack them, right? And now they have more. That's good. Nice shot on the 2-ball. Unfortunately, running into the 8-ball, which creates a very, nice 8-ball too, but a very difficult shot on the 3. He's a little bit head-scratching about that.
Yeah, you might think, well, he's got 2 balls for the price of 1, but he would have much preferred no contact on the 8 and ideal position on the 3.
Yeah, that's challenging, even on a table with big pockets. But this is small pockets, so that's... Let's see our 18-year-old talent, Bernie Regalario, on the 3-ball. Oh! Now that's twice he's had a 3 down the long rail, and on both occasions he's grossly overcut it. That would suggest maybe an alignment issue. Makes me wonder, yeah. But it keeps Luong Duc Thien into the race, keeps him into the game, even though this is not a gimme, this is not an easy one. But he made it and got position on the 4 ball. And now he got the control over that game. Let's see if he can keep that control, keep his concentration step by step. So, being concentrated means putting quality in every step you do, in the pre-shot routine, in the aiming part, and in the final stroke. If you put quality into every part, then the potting of the ball is the natural or the logical outcome of the quality you put in. That's what I call concentration. And he kept that. And here comes the 9. To go from 4-6 to 5-6.
Yeah, staying alive, playing well, playing stubborn pool. And this is a match that hasn't produced a great amount of fireworks, but it's intriguing nevertheless. Regalario's lead reduced to just a single rack.
Maybe they save all the fireworks till the end of the match.
Well, we've seen that in a number of contests actually this week, where they've just sort of lulled along, and then all of a sudden, right at the end, things have really happened. So maybe that's going to be the case again here. Can tell you, on table 2, Shane van Boning ahead for the first time in the match against Michael Bouanen at 5-4. Alexander Kazakis getting well on top against Abdullah Al-Muntasser. Kazakis 8-3. In fact, as I'm talking to you, the scores have just updated. Alexander Kazakis is through with a 10-3 victory. So he awaits in the next round either Jeffrey Ignacio or Lo Van Duan, and that's 7-3 to the Filipino over the Vietnamese player.
Okay, let's check his break. He was pretty good on the 1 ball so far. Mr. Luong Duc Thien. He cut it, bring the cue ball near the middle diamond. He got the 1 ball and he got position on the 2 ball. That's a nice, fine break.
He broke and ran in the 8th rack to draw level at 4-4. Can he break and run in this one to make it 6-6?
Well, he has to start with this cut on the 2 ball, shooting it kind of softly to keep the cue ball near the other long rail, at maybe a tip size of left. Here we go. And this might be a natural follow shot to bring the cue ball, passing the cue ball maybe between the 4 ball. Sorry, I mixed up the 4 and 5 again. Okay, he needs a power follow to go 2 rails, maybe a 3rd rail down, but he missed a 3. But he would have had position.
At this stage, that could be a very important mistake.
Yeah. Well, he didn't left something too easy, did he? Long distance cut. Not much of a cut, but a long distance shot here on the 3. But I guess natural roll will bring the cue ball down, passing toward between the 6 and the 8. Oh, he's putting inside into it to avoid that, and missing 3 with it. Now he has to face the same length of a shot to the 3. Not that much of a cut, but natural follow again. With a little bit more power, of course. And oh, he's fine, with a little help of the 9 ball.
That was a fabulous flick off the 9.
Sometimes you need a little bit luck, right, to end as the winner in some match. Just imagine, when did you see the last guy with bad luck winning a match? Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8 is just a standard affair, but it's always interesting to see if they keep the concentration, keep the control, or if they maneuver sometimes themselves into difficulties. But you can believe me, even though it looks everything obvious, it's still a task, every ball on these tight pockets here. Especially if you have to use 4 shots like that, and you see difficulty.
Earlier on, he played a positional shot and came right on top of the 6. He got away with that because he was able to nurdle it in. But here, on top of the 7, I think that's end of visit.
Yeah, obviously some problems here to keep the speed control. So normally the safety battles at the end part of the game are a little bit shorter, right? Because there's not so much space to hide the balls. So let's see. He's jumping it over the 8. Looks like he's jumping it and trying to hit it full, keeping the cue ball down, and the plan was to bring the 7 ball on the other side of the table, but accidentally hitting the knuckle of the side pocket, and here it is. The 3 ball menu for Luong Duc Thien. Not a perfect angle, but a little bit high left, and he will come back right into perfect position. Let's say almost perfect position on the 9. He missed it. He missed it.
Now you're glad to say almost perfect position because...
Almost, yeah. He wanted to have it better.
I'll tell you what, that was a miss that really hurt at this stage. He's very fortunate where the 9 ball has come to rest. It wriggled free of the jaws and ran across the short rail.
He hasn't lost it yet because he was lucky enough to leave a tough position here. Pretty funny angle for Bernie, our young talent here. Because it's so close to the rail that you have a risk of a double hit, double kiss when trying to bank it. At least in the, if you want to bank it into the corner of the same side of the table, but if you want to go for the right side of the table, then there isn't a double kiss, but more difficult though. So he got maybe going for an option, hitting it kind of very thin on its right side. Don't move the 9 ball too much and sending the cue ball downwards to the other side of the table. And that might be the option. Offense or defense. Let's see. Now he's going full into it. He's trying that bank. Oh, okay. He's trying to bank it in that side because he can avoid a double kiss, like I said before. But it's a tough bank.
Yeah, in the last couple of shots he's played, he seemed very exasperated about the way things are going.
Looks like a semi-comfortable shot into the side pocket. Or should I call it a semi-uncomfortable shot? Oh, it looks comfortable for me here. Oh no, missing again. Ah, it's so tough. So this gives another chance for Bernie. The new talent from the Philippines. Difficult shot. Side pocket or corner pocket? Corner. Good shot.
In these matches, we're always looking to identify a turning point. After the drama there on the 9-ball, where it was missed by both players, that could be entirely crucial. Bernie Regalario knocking in a really good one, and as a result of that, Luong Duc Thien suffers quite a setback because it was he who missed what has to be regarded at any level as a routine 9-ball.
Yeah, wow. I guess you might be right here that Mr. Luong missed the opportunity here. He missed the momentum to turn around or stay into the match. Now it's a big favor to Bernie Regalario.
I can tell you we've got one result. You know, it's Friday the 13th for anyone who's superstitious. Jonas Suter Camino played on table 13, but there was no bad luck for him. He cut through 10-6 against Dennis Ocolio, the young Spaniard who is improving all the time. He won a couple of tournaments in America this year, including quite an important one at the Super Billiards Expo. So, Suter Camino could be a wild card in this race for the Hanoi Open title. Shane Van Boening back in front against Michael Bowanen at 6-5. Chris Melling leads Albin Ashen 3-2. Mario He made a good start against Francesco Candela, but the Italian is fought his way back to 5-5. Jeffrey Ignacio 8-4 on Lo Van Zwan in a slow-moving affair. Shane Walford looking good against Moritz Neuhausen at 6-2. Same for David Alcadi over John Morra at 7-4. The winner of the match we're watching right now will take on either Roland Garcia or Lee Van Corteza. No clues as to who will win that one yet over on table 12. The first 6 racks have been shared. Max Lechner in command against Elliot Sanderson at 7-2. Niels Fine is on table 23 against Tyler Steyer. They still have got to complete a rack. Oscar Dominguez and Takashi Uraka have completed 2 racks and they've been shared. And on table 24, just starting out, the conqueror of Shane Van Boening yesterday in winners qualification, Kyle Amoroto, is taking on his fellow Filipino Patrick Gonzalez. It's a busy time. It's moving day, as we call it. Day 4 of these major World 9-ball ranking events on the 9-ball tour. When you get down to Friday, it's the last 64 and the last 32. So much can happen and so many big names going head to head. Here we can see a split screen.
Yeah, I always call it for the players the survival day. If they can survive those days, then they know they're gonna win something big. And here we got a nice split screen with a nice view to the table 2 with Shane Van Boening on the table.
I'll tell you what, Michael Bowanen is not very well known outside of the Philippines, but Shane van Boening, after his experience yesterday, won't be taking anything for granted. He was playing against Marvin Assis, and it went all the way, and Van Boening had to pull out all of the stops. In the end, his prevailing emotion when he got over the line was pure relief.
Okay, here comes the break from Bernie. Made a 1. And he has a shot on a 2, does he? He has a shot on the 2. And look at the 2, the 3 and the 9. That looks interesting. The 9 is near the corner pocket. So I wonder if he's taking his chances here. Let's see. So from here, it looks like it's doubtful that he can pass that 6, but from the head view we know he can pass that 6 ball, he can has a shot on the 2 ball. So, but will he stun it or roll it? Looks like he's stunning it in the short rail, long rail towards the 3. With this angle he has to power it like that. And almost snookered himself behind the 6, and now we got this scenario with the 3 and the 9, which is not a high percentage combination. So he's looking at it, maybe at a carom. He's trying to carom maybe into a 9 ball, or at least giving it a chance, but also make sure that he's going to leave not too much in case he's missing it. So carom from the 3 into the 9 and making it.
It just about found gravity. The last portion of the roll took it over the edge. Yeah, look at that expression. He knows he's in deep trouble now. Luong Duc Thien finds himself 8-5 behind. It is the first 3-rack advantage enjoyed by Bernie Regalario. That was very close to not dropping. It just about toppled in, Ralph.
Yes, but here you see it also makes sense to practice a little bit carom on the way to become a great 9-ball player.
These two striving to make the last 32, and I can tell you several last 32 matchups already in place for later on. Jeff DeLuna will play his fellow Filipino Michael Feliciano. Torsten Homan plays the surprise package of the tournament. Ahmad Tawfiq, Jason Shaw against Johan Chua. What a match that could be. Fu Chi Wei will take on Jan van Leeuwen, the conqueror of Skylar Woodward today. James Aranas will come up against Ko Pin Yi, and Jeffrey Rodder has the task of trying to tame Fedor Gorst.
Okay, another break for Bernie here. He's leading now 8-5. Oh, this time he missed the 1 ball too high. That's strange. You don't see that too often, but it happened. But he didn't left too much, so probably Luong will have to play a push out here. Push out is a rule, I don't know if you're familiar with, is the incoming player after the break has the right, in case he has no direct sight to the object ball, that he can push the cue ball anywhere on the table and leave the option to his opponent to go further from there or to give it back to him. So it's like making an offer, because if you play a safety, he will give it back to you. if you give him a wide open shot, he's going to take care by himself. So you have to wisely choose where to push the cue ball.
And I think when pushing out, it helps if you know your opponent's strengths and weaknesses.
Absolutely. So, yeah, you see, with this distance, he makes it difficult for him to create just a stop shot on the 1 and keeping the cue ball behind the 7, which would be the case if he would leave the cue ball if he would have pushed it near the side pocket. But from this long position, it's doubtful if he's going for it, but he did. A little bit different, but didn't work out the way he planned, at least not so perfect. He wanted to stay into the shadow from the 5 and the 7. Instead, he's leaving a long shot here for Luong Duc Thien. But he can roll it in because the 2 ball, so he don't need to pull out too much action here on the cue ball because the 2 ball is nearby. So I expect him to roll this shot rather than stroking it. We will see. Soft speed or accelerating speed. Soft speed. Perfectly done. Those soft speed shots sometimes looking so easy, but they are still very difficult, especially from this distance. There's also a different technique to it sometimes, but let's talk about that another time, because now he has a nice angle and he can pass this 7 ball for a nice position on the 4. With the 5 nearby, he got the control in that game. Okay. With his angle, needs a little power to go with the stun shot, stun draw. And a little right side spin back to the 5. Nice angle now, so he can easily go down with another draw or going back and forth between the long rails. Follow. He's going to follow over 2 rails, 1, 2, for position on the 6.
I think this rack is symptomatic of the match in general. Luong Duc Thien just won't go away. He keeps biting at the heels of Bernie Regalario, and I certainly think he's capable of overcoming this deficit even late on.
Oh, he's still in a tough position, but he hasn't lost yet. He's staying in there, trying as good as he can. It's pretty straight to me, so a lot of draw necessary, a little bit more than that to get a comfortable position. This one isn't that comfortable, but he has to attempt it. And if he puts in the quality in every step, he can close this gap from 5-8 to 6-8, but from this camera view it looks even more tough. Even temptive to carry him into the 9. Now he's going to cut it into the other corner pocket to avoid the contact with the 9. Nice shot, but still a difficult 9 here.
And it must be remembered, although he will want to forget, but it must be remembered he's missed an easier 9-ball than this.
Mm-hmm. Will he pot that? Cue ball. Okay.
Hearty cheer from his bank of supporters, and so Luong Duc Thien pulls one back. It's 8-6. He might not have his best stuff out there today. I don't think he has. That's fair enough. But one thing you can say for him in a positive sense, he's proving to be very stubborn and very tenacious. Bernie Regalario most certainly is not over the line yet. Now on table 4, early stages, Anton Raga 2-1 up on the German legend Ralph Suke. Naoki of Japan, the court jester I call him, he's taken the first rack from Amiel Leonor of the Philippines. Roland Garcia 4-3 down to Lee Van Cortese. The winner of that match will play the winner of the one we're watching right now. David Al-Qaedi, he's striving for a last 32 place at the expense of John Morra, and he's leading 7-5. Shane Walford's lead over Moritz Neuhausen has been significantly cut to only 6-5.
And here comes another break from Luong. 1 ball in the side pocket and a shot on a 2-ball. And a 6-ball is again going in between the pass of the 2 into the corner, isn't it?
Yeah, the 6 has been a blocker on the 2 on more than one occasion in this match. A regular irritant.
Bad old 6-ball, huh? Can you still pass? Oh, he's trying to make a combination. Oh, that's optimistic.
Yeah, I was going to say bold. Which is, of course, a commentary euphemism for risky, and maybe ill-advised.
I wonder that he didn't put a little bit more thought into that. They are not on a shot clock yet, right? Nice shot, and look at that. He caromed into the 4-ball and so close to the 3, and still a good shot. So 3 and 4 are obvious. Yeah, it's still kind of a cut because of the little distance, but he can stay in control. Interesting is going from the 4 to the 5 now, because he got only a small angle available there for the 5-ball.
Yeah, threading the needle, this one.
Oh, he's doing good. Very good. He can easily draw it back now without contacting the 6-ball, so he got position on the 6 in the same corner. From there, probably the 7 in the side. And then you can go on the hill with those remaining 3 balls. 4 balls, sorry. Looking forward to see the arena, the big arena, ready tomorrow, right? When the big stage will be. Look at this. He's trying to keep the thrill till the end here.
Play to go around the 9-ball and made quite a meaty contact with it. Actually, it's not going to cost him, you would think, but that was a mistake.
Yeah, could have ended up much worse, like frozen to the 9 or so. All right.
Bernie Regalario is on the hill. He leads by 9 racks to 6, and the decision to go for that 2-6 combination from Luong Duc Thien, I'm afraid, has turned out to be the incorrect one. I can tell you a result has come in for Austria's Max Lechner. He must be on your radar.
Oh, yes, a little bit, he is.
Fine player who is knocking on the door of a major title. Well, he's beaten Elliot Sanderson by 10 racks to 2, so Lechner will now play Jonas Suter Camino in the last 32. And it's looking a lot better for Shane Van Boning. Slow start against Michael Bouwanen, but Van Boning now leads 8-5. Jeffrey Ignacio on the hill against Lo Van Zwan at 9-5. Shane Walford, he's got a second wind, 8-5 up on Moritz Neuhausen. Same scoreline for David Al-Kadi over John Morra. Albin Auschen and Chris Melling, I anticipated a tight battle there, and so it's proving 4-4.
And we are back here. With the break, he almost got the one again. I guess it was like 3 or 4 times in this match when he just barely missed the one ball in the side by hitting the edges of the side pocket. Interesting layout here with the 2 and the 5 pretty close together, and the starting point with the one ball looks pretty straight to me. I don't know if he has the angle to do a lot here, but he can certainly just follow it a little bit and creating a nice safety. He had the angle to do something. That's good. I couldn't see that. So that's almost natural to go from there to the 3 ball. I would have expected him to play position for the far corner instead of the short corner, the near corner. Wouldn't it be much easier with less speed? Because going for a cut shot here and losing the cue ball, that is pretty risky.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ralph, he is now officially the last man standing for Vietnam.
Is he?
Because Lo Van Zwan has just been beaten 10-5 by Jeffrey Ignacio. So we had 6 Vietnamese players in the last 64. 5 of them have already been beaten. The last remaining hope is the man playing this shot.
All right. The last Vietnamese in this tournament, and he attempted to cut it. Was a good attempt, but no, he overcutted it and left. What did he left? Mr. Luong Duc Thien to Bernie Regalario. Another thin cut and a little bit looks even more difficult, so I wouldn't blame him not to go for it. Rather than looking for safety opportunities. Not too easy because it's hard to split them apart very far. Yeah, they stay at the same table side. But the 9 ball is in between, isn't it? So he might need to jump shot here and try a jump bank. You see? Or is he going for a jump safety opportunity? here you see, and here you see clearly how to execute that. To make a legal jump, you have to hit above the center line. Nice. Not exactly as you planned, probably, but very nice.
When you're 3 down with 4 to play, you'll take it.
Yes. Maybe he needs now a little harder of a stun to bring the cue ball out the rail. You don't want the cue ball when you shoot at a 6 ball. You don't want it to be too close to the rail. So I expect a power stun, but he's going for a power follow. Not so sure about that. Still got a shot. Can he avoid with the cue ball the contact with the 8? Probably yes. Yeah. This is still not easy because with this angle he has to go like 3 rails and pass the 8 a little bit further, and again a funny angle.
Had a shot like this in the very first rack.
Yeah, we had. Oh, he's drawing it. Wow, he did good at it, one. Very good. So he stays in the match with this 9 rack.
The white flag is not being waved here by Luong Duc Thien. He's trying to hold on, claw back, and give Vietnam 1 representative in the last 32. He was a little lucky with the treble when he went for the double. Nevertheless, after that, it was a good run out. Regalario being made to wait for victory. Neil Svein 2-0 up on Tyler Steyer over on table 23. Oscar Dominguez 3-1 on Takashi Uraka. 2-2 Kyle Amorotto and Patrick Gonzalez. These are all last 64 matches. Francesco Candela has made a really good comeback against Mario He to lead 7-5. The winner of that contest will take on Ko Ping Chung next. Albin Auschens hit the front against Chris Milling at 5-4. Shane Van Boning now on the hill against Michael Bowanen at 9-5. So has the storm been weathered? You would think so. Another American on the hill at 9-5. Shane Walford over Moritz Neuhausen. David Alcady 8-5 over John Morra, and it's 6-3 for Lee Van Corteza, doubling up on Roland Garcia. Now, here's Van Boning's table. Bowanen trying to get this rack under his belt and mount a fight back.
Yeah, so we got a split screen that we maybe see also part of the other match. While here at our table, Mr. Luong made the 1 ball and has a shot on the 3. While on the other table, Shane Van Boning is on the hill, 9-5.
After his experiences yesterday, the last thing Van Boning wants is another nail biter.
Absolutely. Okay, Luong has a nice shot on the 3. 4 ball sitting nearby. He can keep the position for the side pocket, I believe so. And he got not quite of an angle here. We will see if he has to follow that or draw it for position into the 5. And here we got table 2, Shane Van Boning, but on the table Michael Buanen from the Philippines, trailing 5-9. And he got the kick at the 6 ball.
What's that? Table 2 suddenly played. Yeah, table 1's finished, no? No. So what must have gone on? Okay.
So they might take a little bit more. They need a little bit more time maybe, so we can go back to table 1. And here we got Luong still under control, and now comes the key position from the 6 to the 7. 7 in the side. So 2 long rails. And he did it very well.
He's fighting for his life, isn't he?
He's the last Vietnamese player standing. It gives it some extra spice to stay in the game.
Yeah, a little over 80 Vietnamese players started out in this tournament. Now just 1 remains. So much responsibility on his shoulders, but he's got so much support, as you can see. The table actually surrounded.
Another not first class 9 ball, but he's supposed to make that. But we remember he missed something similar before, so it's not easy. Step by step. And he did it.
Hear the roar! The decibel level in this National Indoor Stadium rising as their man, Luong Duc Thien, the 31-year-old from northeast Vietnam, from the town of Bac An, is still in this. At his lowest ebb, he was 9-6 behind. Now, though, it's 9-8. The comeback, suddenly a realistic proposition.
Yes, he's could be worst. He's still in a position, especially with his break, which works pretty well with the 1 ball. And if he gets a shot on a 2 ball, then it's in his hands, right? Maybe we're gonna see a hill match over here. You never know. But let's have a look at this first. Now he's going to the table for the next break.
So crucial to put a good one in right now.
Watch the 1 ball. He made it, and the 2. Look at this. Ooh, that's close. So what can he do out of that? He can only cut it, keep it maybe near these bunch of balls on the other side while sending the cue ball maybe down to the other side of the table, maybe behind the 3. Can he? Or does he even has a shot maybe? Can he hit it thick enough? Can the 2 ball pass the 4 or the 5?
While he's thinking, let me tell you, Shane Walford, what a good win for him, the American, over Moritz Neuhausen by 10 racks to 5. So Walford, in the next round, in the last 32, will play either David Al-Kadi or John Morra. Al-Kadi on the hill there at 9-5.
So, one of the high-ranked German players here are out. Moritz Neuhausen. And let's see what he's doing here. Yeah, he had a shot.
That was reminiscent of the 6-ball earlier on to the side pocket when he was so close, and you think, can he possibly nudge this in? And he did. What a fighting display, refusing to accept his fate.
Absolutely, and now he has the control. He got the 3, the 4 is nearby, and 5, 6, 7, 8 is pretty open. So pretty funny angle, but I guess he can, with high right and quite enough speed, he can go short rail, long rail to get a position on the 6 into the side pocket. Can he? Follow high right, powerful enough to pass the 9 for a position. Excuse me, I said a 6 before, but I mean, of course, position on the 5. A little bit too far, though.
This is tense, it is tight, and it's nervy out there, not just for the player, but for his many followers and supporters.
Well, he has either way to roll it in very, very soft, or I really don't know the alternative, to go all the way around from there. No. Oh. He missed it.
The air might have just gone out of the balloon. You can feel it in the crowd. Tell you what though, Bernie Regalario is delighted to get back to the table.
Maybe he shooted it a little bit too hard. I mean, with the soft shot rolling, even though he runs into the ball, into the 6, okay, now he has to use the bridge, but should be pretty comfortable for Bernie. Is it? Oh, nice. That was a nice shot with the bridge.
Yeah, inventive use of that bridge, which is multifunctional. And now Luong Duc Thien must be fearing the worst. If he isn't, he should be.
Looks like the party is over for him. The last Vietnamese player can't do anything anymore, just watch. And hoping that maybe some earthquake will stop Bernie Regalario from running out and win this match. 2 balls remaining, and here comes the shot of the match.
No earthquake was forthcoming, but it's been a seismic arrival onto the major world ranking event scene for Bernie Regalario. Only just turned 18 years of age. He's already beaten Ko Ping Chung, the US Open champion. He's beaten Denis Okolio, and now he's defeated Luong Duc Thien. What a match that was.